Good afternoon, everyone. Hey, this is Bruce Marshall from Simpler Trading with the nightly market update for Wednesday, July the 22nd. So we'll get started here on the S&P. We've had a lot of things moving around here lately. So we'll jump in here and start looking at the S&P and then maybe look at some other things as well. But right here, we started the day out, and I've got the voodoo lines up here. I've got skyline here, and so we opened up, came back down into our skyline. We did break through, came back up got close to testing this again. We're staying within this range here. Came all the way back down, perfect touch right there. Came back up, and here this is very choppy, back and forth action. I thought this probably would come back down, but we know from past experience that whenever we have big earnings report like we did today after the close, which was Microsoft and Tesla and I'll throw Chipotle in there, CMG, that we normally are going to rally kind of into that into the end of the day with big expectation and hopes of great things happening in earnings, and that's exactly what happened. We kind of came up here. So let me back this out a little bit, and I like to look at this, start down at a 1 day and then kind of back out and look and see where we've been. So this is a 5-day chart. If you notice, we've been down here, this 3,200 here. So I mean, we've had this just completely steady, and then big gap up here, sell off, and then chop. Trying to figure out which way we're going to go here, and it's a little more apparent as we go further out in time here. Let's go to a 10-day chart again. The next level, as far as voodoo lines go, at least we have snow line up here at 3297. That, I mean, essentially 3300, and I think that's that is where we're going. Now, we just had some big earnings, and it was kind of mixed signals or mixed results. We'll talk about that in a second. So we could reach up here, tag this, or we could come back down, easily come back down here before, then making our way up there. And let's go out a little bit further here, and I'll show you on the 1-year chart. And let me try to zoom in here. You see the skylines here. Let me take those off. We're kind of at that second skyline right now, so let me take these off on the daily so we can take a little bit closer look. So as you can see, this is, I mean, we're right here getting ready to touch that snow line. Now, I don't know if we touch that tomorrow or if we wait until next week, because we've got the biggest week of earnings season is next week. We've got Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Google, and in fact on Thursday we've got Amazon, Apple, and Google all on the same day, which I can't remember the last time that happened. It's been a while, but anyway, so we could make a big move, and I suspect if we pull back, before, and I guess we could even pull back down to this tree line reasonably, and still make it back up here by next, say, Wednesday, Thursday, as we kind of rally into those earnings. Again, no way to know what's going on, but that's what it looks like. And if you remember, if you watched the video I did last week, I was talking about this exact scenario, and I'd like to say I knew exactly what was going to happen, but what I thought would happen actually did happen. Our Darvas box here, we came up, tested it, came right back down into the 34 EMAs, came back up, failed, back down in 34 EMAs, came up, touched it, pressed it again, failed, and then we broke through it. So now this Darvas box is basically, as far as resistance is invalidated, right? And we search for some of these prior Darvas boxes, and also we've got the all-time high right there. So it's reasonable to think that we stretch up and get that. Now that's going to be assuming that all earnings are great and everything's great, and so forth. And we know how that goes. That's a coin toss, right? So again, and I've been saying this, I don't know for how long, I feel like I sound like a broken record, but all the way up here I've been saying, we could have this at any time, and we still could. There would have to be some kind of pretty significant event, for that to happen. and I don't think it's going to happen ahead of presidential election. But I do think we could easily pull back with bad earnings or whatever back into at least here, or possibly down to here, easily. And again, this is what I've kind of been saying. I am a bearish bull. I'm forced to play this thing to the upside, even though I'm not real comfortable, trying to do that, and expecting a pullback of nothing of any serious magnitude, but I would think we pull back easily down here to 3150 at any time, and then continue the run higher. Now, real quick before I wrap it up here, let me show you. So after hours today, it's still too early to tell because we still have conference calls and all that, but we had Microsoft, and they had a great quarter. I mean, a fantastic quarter here, and they're down fairly hard. I think that will be bought. This doesn't really scare me as far as Microsoft, but it is surprising as strong as the quarter was. Record quarter. Tesla crushed it as usual. They've gone to a profit this quarter and are now eligible to be to be considered for the S&P 500. So we'll see what happens there. I don't know. Again, way too early to tell. And also we had CMG right here, and looked like a pretty, looked like a kind of a crazy move here initially. Big drop down, big gap up, and then we're kind of come back to, kind of where we started on the day. So big question mark here as far as what's that's going to mean, right? So again, all this is still there's nothing really crazy about any of these. I mean, I guess the biggest surprise so far was Microsoft, and again, I haven't heard anything from conference call yet. So these may be totally different. Microsoft may be up in the morning, Tesla may be down, etc. But overall, it's pretty, I guess, I don't want to say average, but everything was basically within the expected move, it appears at this point. So I'm not expecting any major fireworks, but I would say, again, as far as the overall market is concerned, it's not going to surprise me. We had, some tensions with China and the consulate in Houston and all that kind of stuff, consulate office in Houston and so forth today. And, we've got coronavirus stuff. This can give us whipsaws any day of the week, just like it's been doing. And expect more of that, but I think any of these pullbacks will probably be bought at least ahead of the next round of big earnings, which will be next Thursday. So for now, I'm going to keep focusing on the upside with eye on the downside, and continue to stay light and nimble. And that's what I've got. So hope this helps, makes sense. Be ready and be aware of the earnings that are coming up next week, and kind of trade around that, because that's what's going to be the most important at the moment. So thanks for the time, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.